Yeah. Thing I'll say. That was an interesting political discussion, but enough of that. Let me see. Good morning, guys. Anybody have anything, any questions from homework so I can get my mind back onto math and off of politics? No? No? You guys doing all good?
I have a question about the problem I was just asking you about number 4. Is it going to be, I just want to know, is it going to be M equals cost? Is it going to be that type of setup?
It's going to be M equals something. So let's do an example. Let's do an example problem like that.
Okay.
I almost ended the meeting. That's not good, Jeff. I don't want to do that. All right. So let me do this. Let me go up on the board real quick. So this is related to number 4 in 3.3, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's do a problem up on the board here real quick. Oh. So if we have an equation, oops. So somebody gives me equation W equals 3, what do you got, Jeff? 3F minus 7. And let's say for so much fertilizer, this is how many watermelons I'll get. Whatever this means, I don't know. And I want to solve for F. I want to solve for F. Right now, this equation is solved for W. Does that make sense? Because W equals stuff. So it's solved for W. So if they say solve for F, I want to end up with F equals something. So how do I start to solve this equation for F? What do I have to do first? Where's my F? There. Why is this not by itself?
You got to get it by itself.
I got to get this by itself. So why is this piece not by itself? This doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So what do I do first?
Add 7 to both.
Add 7. I love it. So find where your variable is. It's in this term right there. Look at the other shit and go, I got to get rid of you. All right, let me get rid of you. So I got W. So how do I write this?
W plus 7.
Yeah. And what's left over here?
3F.
3F. And I got one last step to do. What do I not want on this side?
F.
No, I want F by itself.
Oh, the 3.
I want F by itself, so I don't want the 3. So let me divide by 3. Right? Now I get F is this.
Okay.
Like it, Mikey.
So then I just plug in the number of watermelons where the W is and divide, and that's my answer. Or add, divide, and okay.
See why this equation makes sense is if I know how many watermelons I want to have, I could put that in here to figure out how much fertilizer I need to get. That makes sense. That makes sense. I need 28 watermelons. All right, let's put it in here and figure out how much fertilizer we need. I mean, now this is not a real equation, right? This is just something I made up. And I made up what these were after I wrote them just to give it some physical context. But there is an equation that tells you how much yield you'll get for how much fertilizer you use. There is an equation. To be honest, it's actually more complicated than this. Because if you just pile a bunch of fertilizer on, there's going to be a ceiling. You're not going to just get infinite. You just pile a bunch of fertilizer on, and eventually it's going to go down. Actually, it's going to go, oh shit, that's too much fertilizer. I've killed all my shit with mounds of fertilizer. I don't know if you guys are with me at all. I'm sorry, I went a little too far.
a lot of the equations that govern these things are going to be a little more complicated than what we work with in this class, because we're not to the point where we can work with a lot of complicated shit. But still, there is an equation that does this. And I could solve it for F to see how much fertilizer I need. So that one is related to number 4 in section 3.3. And there's another question like that, I think, somewhere else. I can't remember. Yeah. Anything else from the homework or anywhere? All right. Okay, okay. Now, so if there if there are no questions, we are going to keep going. And the fantastic topic we have today is word problems. Everybody's favorite thing. So just, all right, I know you come into this topic with some baggage. I know you do. So I'm going to do my best. Maybe not all of you. Maybe some of you guys love it like you should. But I'm going to do my best to turn you around about this. So this is, word problems are difficult because fundamentally they are translating English to math, which is always the hardest thing to do if you've ever tried to learn a different language. Think back to the first year and you're constantly thinking back and forth. You know, like it's not an automatic thing. You got to think about it because the grammar is different and all that shit, right? You're like, you got to say house white instead of white house, right? So it's kind of nifty in certain languages. All right. So let's, what I want to do is I want to build up to the point where you understand the need to be able to mathematically model situations. To be honest, we already have been doing that. When you guys do a problem like this, all right, let me pull up a problem you have to work on. Here we go. Where'd you guys go? There you are. Oh my God, so many windows open. All right, here we go. So you have a problem like, this is section 3.3, number 6. Right? They tell you a situation and you have to develop the formula that describes that situation. That is like a very basic word problem. Aren't these words? Yes. But it gives you a physical situation and you have to write the formula in Mathish that matches the situation in English. You guys with me? So to be honest, we've already done some word problems and you didn't even know it. Sorry. All right. So coming back to this. So let's do some classic word problem stuff. Do it up on the board so I can get up and move around. I miss doing that. I have a really good example from an earlier discussion I had with somebody today. Thankfully, it doesn't relate to politics at all. Let's say that I'm going to have some number of kids. Some kids are going to come. I'm going to have like out in the backyard here. I'm going to have, it's kind of a big yard here. I'm going to have like this is after COVID, okay? After we get a vaccine. So this is next year. Maybe next Halloween, I'm going to have like a big haunted trail in the backyard. You guys with me? Something, right? Let's keep it all safe. All right. So I'm going to have some number of kids. I don't even know. But I do know, let's see who agrees with me. I do understand the need to play some defense with some adults. I need some help, right? So I'm going to have a certain number of adults become a thing that I want there. And what I want is I want the number of adults to be twice the number of kids. And that seems to be not a bad thing. right? Because if you have it equal to the number of kids, then you're playing zone defense, man to man. You want even more than that. You want like 2 per. You need that because they're quick and they find the most dangerous place to be all the time. If you have kids, you understand what I'm talking about. It's amazing. So is everybody cool with what's happening right now? So I have some unknown number of kids coming, but I do know I want the number of adults to be twice the number of kids. So if I had, for example, 3 kids coming, how many adults do I want?
6.
6. If I had 8 kids coming, how many adults do I want?
16.
16. I like it. Right? So what if I have X kids coming? How many adults do I want to have?
2x.
2X.
X.
Does that make sense? Isn't that exactly what we did? Isn't this 2 times this? Isn't this 2 times this? So is this going to be 2 times this? So that is one thing to get past, is the basic thing algebra lets me do is if there's an unknown quantity, if I just call it a letter, I can then write other unknown quantities in terms of that letter. There's a relationship between adults and kids in this problem, right? So this mathematically captures that relationship. Whatever the shit this is twice that. All right, now, let's say I know that I know how much food I can handle. So I kind of know that I need to have, let's say, I can have at most, let's see, what's going to be a good thing to do? Yeah, sure, I like that. I can have at most 54 people. So because of the food limitations, I can have 54 total people. I claim that from this information, I can figure out how many kids and how many adults I can have. So what does 54 total people mean? Can somebody just tell me, how does that relate to everything? Can you just give me in English, how does that relate? What kind of people am I going to have in this problem? I got them designated as kids and adults. So how do I incorporate that in? I'm not sure how else to say that.
You want twice as many adults as kids within that 54 limit.
I know. So 54.
54.
Go ahead.
It'd be 54 equals x plus 2x.
All right, let me take it a step back.
Oh, sorry.
The number of kids plus the number of adults is 54. Is that cool? Just to say that in English.
Okay.
Is that true? I mean, that's just true.
Yes.
Do I know how many kids are coming? No. So what do I call it? X. I don't know how many kids. So the number of kids is X. Therefore, the number of adults is, like it was already said, 2X. I really want you guys with me now. The number of kids, I have no idea. Why am I suddenly a horrible Italian stereotype? The number of kids plus the number of adults is 54. The number of kids determines how many adults there will be. So if there's some unknown number of kids, I'm going to call that X. Therefore, how many adults must I have? 2X, right? Is everybody good with what's happening so far? We knew that here. If I have some number of kids, I have to have twice that adults. So the number of kids, I don't know, X, plus the number of adults, twice that equals 54. That's a word problem. So what did we do for this word problem? I started with a lot of English, right? That's the thing that people don't realize. You don't have to jump straight to math. You start with English. And then I identified the parts of the problem. Who are the players in this problem? Kids and adults. So I had to give them math names, X and 2X. And then if I have a relationship in English, I can use these names to rewrite it in Mathish. And now I can solve it. So that's a math sentence, and I know the steps to solve a math sentence. How do I solve that equation now that I've got? What's X plus 2X?
3x.
3X, it's crazy. And then how do I get X by itself?
Divide both sides by 3.
If you do that, you'll get 18. What does that mean? What does that 18 mean?
18 kids.
18 kids. Therefore, how many adults?
36.
Good. 2 times 18, 36 adults. Up. So again, the reason that word problems are really hard for some people is I think that people think you're supposed to read the situation and know what the equation is. That's pure insanity. Unbridled, unadulterated insanity. You really need to approach it slowly. You have to kind of sneak up on it. Identify the parts, kids, adults. Give them math names. If I don't know how many kids, I know the adults is twice that. So if I don't know something in algebra, I call it X. Just so it's not empty space, to be honest. Why do we use the letter X? There's a really funky history on that. It could have been any letter. Right? And we didn't pick X because it had something to do with the pirate and treasure map or some shit, right? It's a nifty story, but it's not true. And then I can't do math shit to this, but I can do math shit to this. So if I translate into math using these expressions, I can solve it. And does it work? How can you tell it works? How can you tell that's the right answer?
You add them together.
Yeah, 18 and 36 makes 54. I can check it. I can check it. Right? And a problem like this, if my answer was negative, do I just circle that shit? What would that mean? If I got X is -7, that means I need, that's terrible. I don't want to go there. You got to like, you need these negative kids. I don't know what that means. They're like antimatter kids. I have no idea. Don't let them get too close. Oh man, they just annihilated. So don't do that. Yeah, don't have negative kids, right? So when you're building a shed, don't tell me it has to be -5 feet by -7 feet, because that's like, what the hell is that made out of? Don't go in the shed because you ain't coming out. It's the upside down shit. I don't know. Maybe. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do a geometrical problem. Yeah. Let's say I've got a triangle, right? And I know that the longest side is 5 feet longer than the shortest side. And I know that the middle side is 2 feet longer than the shortest. And I know that the perimeter is, oh, I should probably make something that works. Let me see. Give me a second. 28. It's 28 feet. So on a geometrical problem, it's a good idea to give yourself a rough sketch, right? So the first step is to just sketch something. Bam, there it is. It looks beautiful, beautiful. Second step is, can somebody tell me in English, what are the players in this problem? Does that make sense when I say that? What are the players in this problem? How many players are there? How many parts?
3.
3. What are they called? Use the exact same language the problem does.
Longest side,
Yep, longest,
middle side,
middle,
short side,
and short stack.
and the perimeter.
Yeah, the perimeter. Now, why am I not going to call the perimeter a player? Because the players
Make the
together make the perimeter. You guys see that? So it's not like a fourth player. It's going to be where my equation comes from.
ends.
So
Okay.
the parts of the problem are the sides, and the perimeter is how they all interact with each other. I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Now, can somebody tell me which side do I need to know the length of first? And then I can figure out the other two. Can you guys see that?
The short
The
one.
shortest.
If I only knew what the shortest one, why do I have to know that one first? Because everything else depends on the shortest one. So one of the most important steps in any word problem is identifying what is just X, or what is just whatever letter you want to use. It doesn't even matter what letter you use. You use your favorite letter, use Russian, use Greek, use a freaking happy face. I don't give a shit. It's just a symbol that represents unknown. So the most basic one we use is X. So I'm going to make shortest. If I call the shortest one X, what can I call the longest side then?
X plus 5.
Yeah, it's 5 foot longer than this. So it's 5 foot more than this. So it's X plus 5. It's not 5X because they didn't say it's 5 times as long. I said it's 5 foot longer, so that'd be X plus 5. So of course, then what's the middle side?
X plus 2.
X plus 2, I love it. I'm gonna erase this. We don't need this anymore. I just need some room for my problem. Take a minute, try to write down what the equation is. Don't say it, just write it down. Write down what you think the equation is. So I forgot, I can use my picture if I want to write these down, but I mean, in this case, it doesn't really help too much, but it's not bad to have a visual of what the hell's going on. So in English, the perimeter, of course, is just the what? How do you always find the perimeter? You just do what with all the sides?
Add.
Add them all up. I love it. So in English, if I add up all the sides, I'm supposed to get 28. So how do I write that in Mathish? You're dead, poor little dude. What's my other blue looking like? Ooh. If you add up all the sides, you get 28. So what's this look like? Add up all the sides.
Well, it depends on if are you gonna add all the 3s or you want to do it like side by side by side? I'm sorry,
I'm not sure
the X's.
what
So 28. Say that again, sorry.
I'm not sure what the first option
Never
you
mind.
gave was.
It's
It's going to be the longest. So the longest side plus the middle side plus the shortest side, right? So what's the longest side? What math name did we give it?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. So that's the longest side plus the middle side.
X plus 2.
All right, so there's the longest, the middle, plus the shortest side,
X.
below the X. I love it. I mean, so can you guys, this is physically how to get perimeter, isn't it? add up all the sides. Well, what's this guy's name? X plus 5. What's this guy's name? X plus 2. What does mine say? X. What does mine say? Sweet. No, I'm sorry. So that's a movie reference. Sorry. And I really want you guys to get the thing that people don't get is that these capture the relationship that was up. All the sides are related. So that's what those relationships look like mathematically. And we know this is true. That's 2 foot more than the shortest. Bam. So 2 more than X and so forth. And then what are they supposed to do together? They're supposed to add up to be 28 because that's the perimeter. And now you have what should be the easy step. Let's just take a minute and solve this equation. Over here dancing. All right. So if I look at this side, what do I get when I combine all my like terms?
3x plus 7.
Yeah, 3x plus 7 equals 28. Right? And then what's in the wrong place?
7.
7. So I'm going to kill it. You're dead now. Die. So then I get 3x equals 21. And then the same, it's almost always this for the last step. I'm going to do what? To kill the 3.
Divide it.
Yeah, divide by 3 to kill the 3. So I get x equals
7.
7. Now don't just circle this and go on. What's that mean?
The shortest side is 7.
7. Foot. So that's why you really want to not skip this step because it helps you set up the equation and then it helps you answer it. What's the middle side? 7 plus 2, it's 9 foot. And then the longest side is 7 plus 5 is 12 foot. And then of course, how do I check that?
Add them all together.
Yeah,
If it
add 'em up.
adds up to 28.
12 and 9 is 21 plus 7 is 28. Check. So I can check my answers. Isn't that nice? None of them's negative, so nothing is freaky. I don't have some black hole triangle. Black hole triangle. Won't you could? That's right. All right. All right. So let me show you a handout I have on the Canvas. So if you can access your Canvas, please do so now. Let me show you where it's at. All right, I'm going to share the screen now. Hopefully everybody's got this stuff. Kabam. So if you go into Canvas, go to modules, go down to modules, unit 3. That's crazy because we're in chapter 3. And then you see word problems. Yay. And you see this guy. So I've got an example like of the triangle, like the problem we just did. And then I got an example like the first one we did. Kids and adults, and this time it's men and women. Right, so there's a few examples to look at. So so that's up there for you. But let's do these together. Let's do these together. I'm going to open it up in a different way so I can write on it easier. But if you could go into Canvas, get that sucker, download it if you want to. Let me open it up here. I got to move this over here. I got to move my class over there. Bam, I can just move you guys. share this bad boy and plop. All right, we're in business. So this is an example of like the triangle one. And just to point a couple of things out, I have given you all the steps. The first step is what are the players? And notice it's all in English, right? So be nice to yourself. Understand you're going to read through the word problem a couple of times at least. Do not expect to be able to set up the equation immediately. If you try to, most of the time what people do is they forget the guy who's just X. You just totally forget it and you get some funky answers, right? Then the next step, the one I said is probably the most important step, is who is just X? Because then the other ones, so the longest is 3 times the shortest, and the middle one is 1 less than twice. Oh shit, 1 less than twice. All right. But otherwise, oh, Jeff, you're crazy, Jeff. I'm writing on this the wrong way. All right, let me clear that. It's not really necessary anyway. Do this way, Jeff. There you go, buddy. All right. And then this is a problem sort of like the adults and kids problem, right? So you can look through that if you want to. And again, the most important thing is just all the steps that you want to follow. So let's try this. The first 2 problems are, in a sense, too easy. You don't have to do all the steps. Do you see how the first 2 problems are sort of like pseudo math, like somebody reading an equation? Do you guys see that? A number divided by 3 equals the number decreased by 10. We could just write that right into an equation. So the first 2 problems are what I would call not real word problems. They're just sort of somebody read an equation off and I just got to write the equation down. So how do I write, what would I call the number? We got to pick something to call the number. Somebody want to use something interesting? What letter do I give this?
N.
Well, N. We don't know what it is, so we can call it whatever we want to. We're going to call it N. I like it. So the number divided by 3. So how do I write that? Incredibly enough, I just do like that, right? Is everybody with me? The number divided by 3 equals, okay, that's nice. The number decreased by 10. How do I write that?
N minus 10.
Yeah, N minus 10. Ooh, and this is a nice equation. You gotta love the hell out of this guy. What sucks about, now I'm done translating. This is the translation step. I translated from English to Mathish. What kind of sucks about this equation? Let me write it over again. What's the worst part about that equation? You come on, what's the worst part?
They're not both equations. Or I'm sorry, fractions.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna pretend like what you said was the ugliest part is the fraction. If only that fraction wasn't there, right? You guys agree with me now? If that fraction wasn't there, this would be a much nicer equation, right? You guys with me? No? Oh, cool. You guys want fractions. All right, I'm going to make a note of this. Y'all want fractions. I'll be sure to put a lot of fractions. I'm just joking. Or am I? We'll find out. So how do I kill the fraction? What would I do to this side to kill the fraction? Does that make sense? Why is there a fraction? Because it's n divided by 3. So how do I kill the 3? What would I do to both sides?
Multiply.
Yeah, so if I multiply both sides by 3, I'll do this side. Oh man, I'm tired. What happens on the other side? So this is what you do. Anytime there's a fraction lurking in your equation and you don't like the look of it, you can kill it, right? In math, there's no law against killing things. Take that as you will. Yeah. So, right? And it kind of feels nice. I don't like you, fraction. You're dead now. Now, please don't take this lesson into any other part of your life. But what happens here, are you guys all with me out there? Maybe I need to write this better. Let me see. Let me rewrite this. Let me really try to focus on my handwriting. So n over 3. Okay, pen. Erase this too, guy. N over 3 equals n minus 10. Okay, pen. If I multiply both sides by 3, I'll get n here. And of course, over here, I got to distribute, right? Is it cool? So I'm
Can
going to
you
get
hear
what?
anybody?
Now, I heard you. Is somebody talking?
Oh yeah, I said 3n minus 30, but I don't know if you could hear anybody.
I didn't hear you say that, but now I did. So yeah, you distribute 3n minus 30. I like it. Now, can somebody tell me what part of that equation is in the wrong place? Really hope you know what I mean when I say that.
The 3n.
Yeah, the 3n. Why? How do you know it's in the wrong place? Because the numbers are on this side. So this is the number side. Get out of here, n's. So I'm going to have to subtract 3n so I can get all my n's together. So n minus 3n is how many n's? What kind of 2?
-2.
So negative 2n, the n's over here died, right? They killed each other. So I have a negative 30. All right, stop for a minute. And now I'm at the last step. The last step is almost always divide. I didn't say always. I said almost always, right? So what do I divide by? Sure enough, I got negative 2 times n. So what do I divide both sides by?
2.
No,
-2.
negative 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I killed the whole damn thing. You want n completely by himself, right? It's a little introverted, poor little n. So what do I get? N equals
15.
15.
15. I like it. And that's the only variable. That's the only, what is the number? I know I'm done because there's only one player in this problem. It was some number that did this shit. So how do I check this? So a number divided by 3. So if the number is 15, what do I get when I divide it by 3?
5.
5.
So number divided by 3. If the number is 15, divided by 3 is 5. Does that equal the number decreased by 10?
Yes.
Yes. So I know it's true. It's a check. I checked it. The number does what it's supposed to do. All right. You guys try to set up number 2. I know there's some of you guys who are done with this, but for those of us who aren't doing these at a time, go ahead and try to set up number 2. While you do that, I'm going to go get some more liquid. Do this in a different color. Green. So, there's a little bit of creativity in these. You don't always have to use the same letter, right? A variable is just a placeholder. It's better than an empty space. It just stands in for the unknown thing. So you can use whatever the hell symbol you really want to, right? Use a little emoji you can use. Egyptian hieroglyphics. You could use Chinese symbols. You could use anything. So who's got this equation set up? What are you going to call the number? Somebody tell me. What letter did you give for this number? Anybody? Did any?
N.
N. Okay, cool. So 6 times a number. So how do I write that?
6N.
6N is, that's a key word, right?
Equals.
Yeah, good. So equals 20 less than twice the number. What is twice the number that we picked?
2N.
Yeah, twice the number is 2N. And how do I write 20 less than that? Be careful.
20 minus.
So it's not 20 minus 2N. So let me ask you this. Guys, stop looking at the problem. Look at me. What's 20 less than 50?
30.
30. What did you do?
Oh, I subtracted.
20 from 50. So what's 20 less than 2N? 2N minus 20. That is 20 less than that thing, twice the number. All right, let me stop for a minute. We've looked at that before, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly. I thought we did. That is English grammar's fault, not math's fault, just to be clear, right? Don't say, why does math do that? No, that's English. That's some English bullshit. 20 less than twice the number is 2N minus 20. It's always backwards. And we know it. When I said 20 less than 50, you all thought 30. I know you did. Nobody thought negative 30. I'll bet you anything. And that's because we don't even realize that we're turning around, but we have to know we're turning around when we're writing this weird shit down. Is everybody decent with that? That's the only word that really doesn't translate directly. And again, if you know languages, you know there are words that only exist in certain languages. There's no translation for them. This one actually exists, it's just backwards, right? Sort of like White House versus House White. Let me see. What am I trying to look for? Oh, yeah. So now just hopefully you've already started doing this. Go ahead and solve that. Go ahead and solve that equation. Don't say anything. Why is this problem? Why is it okay if the answer is negative? So that should be a big clue to you. You're going to get a negative answer. Go ahead. No. So earlier I said you can't get a negative length of a shed. You can't get a negative number of kids. But in this case, does it represent something physical? No, it's just a number. A number can be negative. You guys with me? So that's why it's okay to get a negative answer. So what's in the wrong place in this equation? What's in the wrong place here?
2N.
Yeah, 2N's in the wrong place. How do you know that? Because all the other N's are there and all the numbers are there. So the N side must be over there. So I'm going to subtract 2N. So I'll get 4N here equals, these cancel, negative 20.
Mhm.
And then of course, there you see the same infamous almost always last step, divide by 4, divide by 4, and I get n equals
-5.
-5. And then to check it, 6 times a number. What would 6 times this be? We're going to check it real quick. 6 times a number. What's 6 times -5?
-30.
-30. Is that what somebody's chatting at me? Yes. Is 20 less than twice the number? What's twice this number?
10.
-10.
Mhm.
And what's 20 less than that? -10 minus 20 is -30.
Mhm.
Sure enough, it works, right? So you can always check the answer to a word problem. So again, just to remind you guys, don't always throw out every negative. If the problem is about temperature, can temperature be negative? Yes. If the problem is about profit, can profit be negative? Yes. But if the problem is about number of people, don't bring in no negative people. That's weird. And I don't just mean that they're grouches. I mean that they're negative people. I mean, holy shit, what does that mean? I don't want to see. It's sort of like if you have 2.5 kids, don't show me that 0.5 kid. What is that? Is he half armadillo? I don't know. I don't think I want to see. Maybe I do want to see that. If anybody has a armadillo kid.
Good play on words, Jeff. Don't be bringing no negative people.
That's right. There you go. Exactly. All right. So number 3 is a problem we sort of already did. So I want you guys to do number 3. So again, just to remind you guys, it's not a bad idea to draw a picture. You don't have to. You definitely want to write the names in English of the players, and then next to them write their math names. So go ahead and take a few minutes and try to do number 3. Let me see what time it is. All right, we got plenty of time. I like it. Woohoo. I dance like Trump, like Elaine from Seinfeld. Can you make that a TikTok thing, kids? Trump dance? Can you make that a TikTok thing? So notice, even if the names don't make like sense, shortest, longest, third, use the exact same language the problem does. So you can always go back and forth real easy. Trust me. Wanted to do, anyway, sorry. Let's see. All right, let me kind of make sure everybody's on the right track. Everybody have these three, right, for the players? Which one is going to be just a variable, just like X or whatever letter you want to use?
The longest.
Longer side. No.
Longest side. And sometimes it's not a bad idea. I'm just going to call that L. You could have called it X. You could have called it N. You could have called it happy face, right? Doesn't matter. So then the shortest side is 15 less than that. So it'll be your letter minus 15. Remember that we just talked about that less than being evil, kind of reverses it, right? If you wrote 15 minus L, that is how you get negative sides of a triangle. And again, I don't want to get close to that thing. The third side is 6 feet shorter than the longest. So 6 feet shorter like that. So if you set it up like this, I basically just did 3 tiny problems and they weren't that difficult. I call the longest side a letter because it's the one that everybody else depends on. And then 15 feet less than that letter is L minus 15. I mean, they're each little tiny problems. Uh-oh, I'm looking a little laggy. Is my Wi-Fi okay? Uh-oh. All right, I'm hoping. All right, good. Some of you guys are so still. When I look at there, I'm like, did I freeze and everybody else is okay? All right. The perimeter is 102 feet. So of course, what do I do with all those to get 102? I'm sorry. I'll let you guys work for a while. You guys are busy working. All right. So I'm going to just take each side, the shortest side, plus the longest side, plus the third side. So I can find all 3 sides there.
Mhm.
And now I've got an equation. I can kind of forget about all this shit and just solve the equation. L plus L plus L is 3L. What's negative 15 minus 6?
Negative 21.
Minus 21, I like it. And then hopefully by now you see an equation like this and you're like, all right, so I'm just going to add 21, get my numbers together.
Yes.
And then if I divide by 3, that's kind of nice. 3 goes into 12 4 times, 3 goes into 3 once. Let me change my,
Yeah, that's right.
thank you. So then the longest side, which is represented by L, is 41 feet, which means the shortest side will be 41 minus 15, which is 26 feet. And then the third side is the longest side. Let me see if I can get rid of this circle. There we go. There we go. All right, I like it. Is the 41 minus 6, which is 35 foot. And then to check it, 26 plus 41 is 67 plus 35 is 102, which is what it's supposed to be. Thank your favorite deity. Thank God, thank Allah, thank Krishnu, thank Flying Spaghetti Monster, whatever you like. Is everybody with me on, not on the religious thing, sorry. Your favorite religion, whatever you like the best. But on this, on the steps, I actually didn't use the picture, but it wasn't that complicated. The picture does help. Number 4, the picture will be really necessary in number 4. So let's do number 4 and then we'll call it a day. Oops, somebody just left. So I got to be careful when I say that phrase. That's all some people hear. So do number 4, and then after I do it, we'll call it a day. Oh shit, what did I just do? That is neat. Oh, that's what that button does. All right, sorry. What does that button do, I wonder? Probably nothing. So let me catch you because I'm almost certain people are making mistakes because it's really easy to make mistakes with this kind of problem. What are the players involved? How many players are there?
Is it 2?
2, I like it. The length, the width. Which one is going to just be a letter? This might be a little bit
The width.
more.
The width.
Yeah, the width. Because I know it's 4 meters longer than it is wide. So I have to know the width first. So let me call it W. And then what can I call the length? Now that I know the width is W, 4 meters longer than it is wide. How do I write what the length is?
W plus 4.
Good, not 4W. It doesn't say 4 times as long. It says 4 meters longer. So that's going to be an addition. Hold on, guys. Let me redraw my W. There we go. Now, here's the mistake people make. Now, here's the mistake. You ready? Mistake. W plus 4 equals 92. That is a mistake. That is a big mistake. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Can anybody see why this is a mistake? If you wrote this down, go ahead, sorry.
The perimeter is every side added, not just 2 of them.
Yeah, so if you actually label your picture, you'll see that if to go all the way around this, I've got to add that to that to that to that. So the quickest way to say why this is a mistake is because this only goes halfway. Now, to be honest, I could do this, W plus 4 equals 46. Because if I go halfway, then it's half of this. But don't think about that unless you really, really understand what I just did. So how do I do this officially? The perimeter is all the way around. So if I start here, W plus 4 plus W plus W plus 4. That's what makes 92. That's correct, not this weird shit. So if there's 4 sides, you must be able to find 4 parts. You got to be able to find them all in your equation. I know some of you guys know the 2L plus 2W. Great. You shouldn't know any perimeter formulas, to be honest. Because how do you do perimeter no matter what the shape is? Add up all the sides. I don't have to memorize shit then. That's all I have to know. And I'm gonna do this a little bit quickly. If I put my W's together, I get 4 of them. And then I got 4 plus 4 is 8. Then I subtract 8. Move this up here. So now I get 4W equals 92 minus 8 is 84, which is really nice because 4 goes into that real easy. So the width is 21 watts.
Meters.
Meters, which means the length is 4 more than that, 25 meters. So if you take 2 of these plus 2 of these and call me in the morning, I mean, take 2 of these and 2 of these, you'll get 92. So it checks. That's the part you should really like, that you can actually make sure it mathematically works at least. But if you get negative answers, obviously, you should just stop and say, what the hell did I just do? Something went wrong. So we'll look at these next time. And if you want to get a head start on those, feel free. I had to throw my Potbelly pig. I don't actually have a Potbelly pig, so don't ask to see him because he doesn't exist. All right. So I'll officially say that's it for today. Don't forget though, what's happening Thursday?
Quiz.
Quiz on what?
3-1 to 3-3.
3.
3-1 to 3-3. I like it. So if you haven't finished all that homework yet, make sure you do before tomorrow so you have questions. All right. Anybody have questions now? Anybody need to hang out? You guys good?
Are we still gonna have tomorrow's tutoring?
Yes. Yep. Every Tuesday and Thursday.
Are we running the quiz the same ways too, so we can
Yep. It'll be due
tighten
on,
up with some tutoring and then we'll have
Yep.
that day, right? Okay.
yeah, it'll be due that Friday. It'll be due the next day. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. All right. I will see you guys later tomorrow, maybe. Bye.